Hey guys, it's Joe Gorgie here from JG Music, the YouTube channel for songwriters, producers and artists. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate or advanced, I hope this is the sort of channel that can help you in any sort of way to improve either your ability, knowledge, skill set in your field to pave your way in the music industry. Today's video is a very exciting one. We've got a plugin spotlight, and the reason this video is happening today because of the kind people at Curtis King Plugins who have kindly sent me some plugins to demonstrate and test out for you guys. One of the plugins is a reverb/space creator and the other one is a delay with saturation capabilities. When they sent these plugins over, I was very excited to try them because obviously reverbs and delays are one of the key effects in the music producing process, and being able to create space within a reverb is something that can be very challenging, especially if you're a beginner in music production. So I'm going to demonstrate these plugins today and tell you if this is something that you should be worth getting. Before I get into the video, I do want to say I'll be leaving a link below so you can get hold of both these plugins if you like what you see in the video, and also be sure to check out any other plugins they've got which aren't in this tutorial as well. The two plugins I'm talking about today, the first one is called After Image, and that is the reverb/space creator, and the second one is the Midi Duck, which I believe is for delay. But I'm going to dive in right now and test out these plugins and see what they can do. So as always guys, hit that subscribe button to support the channel and let's get into this. Okay, so popping up on your screen here is the two plugins. What I have done is I have created three different channels, one which has the After Image on, one with the Midi Duck, one with After Image and Midi Duck, to see if we can play around both of them to get something cool going. And we are just going to start with After Image and we're going to try this out now. I've got the piano loaded up on Logic. If you look at After Image, there's a lot going on here, but I'm going to quickly talk you through what each one is. Now, this one is the delay section, or echoes, however you want to call it. And what's really cool about this is a stereo delay, so you can actually set times for what you want the delay to come out in loudness on the left and right of the mixer panning, so you can get a really nice ping pong delay going, or again, as I said, stereo delay to add more layers to a vocal. Down here we got the sci-fi, which is one of the effects that we got, which we're going to try out, as well as the gravity. Over here we've got a spread, which is really good because that means we can spread the reverb to the sides of the mix. That could be very handy to try out. And we've got a lift here which adds elevation to your reverb space, which we're going to try out. You got the mix, which is very good to have, so you can feed and balance between the dry signal coming in and the wet signal coming out, and you've got obviously a main output as well. Now this is a very interesting control pad here in the middle. Sort of reminds me of the drum programmer in Logic. You've got the echo, focus, space and open, which gives you a really nice control over how you want to set your parameters for the reverb. So let's hear what it sounds like. I'm going to turn this to 0 first, and I'm going to leave it just how it comes in the box, if I'm using that expression, and let's play some chords and see what it sounds like. Okay, let's quickly play some staccato. Okay, so we can hear a little bit of reverb and echo. We're now going to start playing around with this. You could hear there was an echo coming out of the right side of the mix. As you can see on here, you can link to the BPM, which is very handy, so you don't have to adjust settings, so it's perfectly in time. We're going to start playing with the gravity now and the sci-fi and trying to mess with this sound a lot more and see what we can do. Okay, so that's really intense. So what we're going to do now is I think I'm going to go up a couple. I'm going to go up an octave, and I'm going to get rid of some of the brightness. Maybe doing this will roll off some of the low end as well, and let's see what happens. Oh, I like that. There's some very indie sounds in here, and this would be really good for stuff like whether you're trying to make beats. I feel like if we put this on percussion, that'd be very interesting. But it just seems like this is the sort of plugin which could add extra texture to your sounds. If you've already got some sort of effects already on there, but you want, again, little details in the production which can make a massive difference. Putting this on some things like maybe even a vocal, you could get some ad-libs going on in the background using the echoes. Again, just something extra to add to your mix, and this seems like the perfect plugin to experiment with. We're going to start going through the presets a little bit on here. You've got Dusk Till Dawn. Let's see what that sounds like. That's really cool. Okay, so Liquid Ages. That's really cool. That suits the piano really well, actually. There a lot, especially like the synth pop sort of genre, sort of like loud, lanny sounding stuff. Put that on the piano right there. Sounds awesome. I would actually think I would use that in some of my productions right now. Liquid Ages, I'm gonna remember that. That's really cool. But yeah, guys, this is the general first impressions of the after image. It's a very much an experimentation effects, in my opinion, because I like it when you got plugins where there's a lot of room for experimentation. This isn't just a reverb. This also has a phaser built in. You can spread your reverb as well, which is an absolutely insane setting to have on a plugin because not all reverbs have that. But yeah, we spent a lot of time on the after image. Let's go over to Midi Duck and see what Midi Duck is about. So under my understanding, Midi Duck is a delay. You've got 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 8, and there's multiple different delays that could go on here. We've got grit to add some saturation, and we also have the warp effect. We're going to use all of these now, and we're going to see what happens when we play the piano in. And we do have some settings over here. Let's quickly mess through the presets and see what's happening. What I get the impression from Midi Duck is if you want to do something different, maybe whether with a pad or with, again, like a piano keyboard or synth, this is a really cool way to try and get a quick effect in which maybe you wouldn't have thought to do straight away and create something completely different. I mean, listen to that. I think this falls under the category of the sort of plugin which is sort of like minimal effort for best results in a quick time. And I think these settings here, you can play around with them, and there's a lot of different textures. There's a lot of different ideas you can get from this. And as you can see, there's a lot of different presets to choose from. That's really cool. A lot of them are named by, let's go for Gemini. Let's see what that sounds like. Ooh. Again, if you're looking for something different on your mixes, this definitely seems like the sort of thing that could do it. You've got curve shape and straight shape, so you can actually shape your effects, which is going in and out of the Midi Duck as well. That's really cool. And again, all of this just seems to be the whole idea of minimal effort to give you something that could be a really great sound, which will get people asking, how did you achieve that effect? So one last thing we'll check is you got these the warp and the grit effect. So the warp, does this. And then the last thing we're going to try out is adding some grit. What does this do? Turn to add more duck. So there's a little bit of distortion there, but I think the idea of that setting is to add some saturation on, which can be really nice for adding some warmth to something. But this definitely does seem like, again, a plugin which is for minimal effort, for maximum creative output in a short amount of time. And overall, I really like this. I think if I'm ever struggling for ideas for effect, or I just want something, an extra texture in the background, slapping this on a bus and putting it on the back of even like a piano or a vocal could create something really unique and different. And that's what I like to see in a plugin. So if you're a producer who likes to experiment, these two plugins could definitely help you out. So I've just been playing around the plugins for another half an hour, putting in a few projects I already have just to see what I could get out of the plugins. And overall, I really like the ideas. I put it on some vocals. That sounded really cool. I feel like there's been some new ideas I can bring to the table in productions, and I especially love After Image. That is a personal favorite of mine out of the two. I think the capabilities of this is absolutely insane, as I said, to do textures and adding space in a mix, adding ambience. Like, this is the sort of plugin I'd really recommend that you check out. If I had to have any constructive feedback for the plugins, the only thing I find is they tend to lag at times, which isn't the end of the world because you can still use them very efficiently, and it doesn't seem to affect the end result when using the plugin or the sound that's coming out of them. But if that's something that could get fixed by KP plugins, then these plugins will be absolutely solid. So After Image, again, I highly recommend you get it. And if you're a fan of echoes and delays and wanting to try something different, then Midi Duck also is a very good plugin for that. So I recommend you check it out. Again, I have left the links below for you to buy these plugins, but after being sent these plugins, I'm definitely excited to see what else they have in the pipeline, what other plugins they might have, and that might be some more plugins for a different video. But yes, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for making it to the end. If you have, hit that subscribe button as well if you enjoyed this video, because I make more videos like this all the time. And as always, guys, comment below any questions you have either on the plugins or anything else to do with music producing or songwriting, especially any requests of videos you want to see on this channel in the future, because I'm always open to suggestions. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep making music, and I will see you in the next video.